The museum is one of my favorite parts of the Animal Crossing franchise. In each game, I always set out thinking I'll fill up the museum with every item, but I don't think I've ever managed that. In New Leaf, I probably got pretty close though. In New Horizons, I'm definitely going to fill it up 100%. The museum is run by an owl named Blathers. It's a fitting name because he tends to blather on and on. Since he's an owl, he's nocturnal, which is annoying since you have to wake him up during the day if you're going to donate anything. So I try to hold off my museum work until the late evening hours. When you begin New Horizons, there's no museum. It's a desert island after all. But you can give Tom Nook fish and bugs you catch for him to send off to Blathers. Once you give Tom Nook 5 creatures, Blathers gets intrigued enough to come visit the island for himself, setting up a tent the next day. Now with Blathers on the island, you can start digging up and donating fossils too. Fossils are buried in the ground and need to be assessed by Blathers before you know what sort of fossil they are. Once you've donated 15 items to Blathers, you'll get an upgrade from a tent to an actual museum the next day. The museum itself is a big improvement on previous iterations. It's much more like a real museum with a lot of thought and creativity put into how it goes about displaying exhibits. It even has things like emergency exits and electrical conduits. You really get the sense the design was based on a real-world museum because there's just a lot of design features in it that have no practical purpose in the game. The exhibits in previous games were mostly lined up one after another, but now we have a lot more weaving around with a cool use of space. On the left, you can enter the insect wing of the museum. This first section is similar to the setup in New Leaf with trees and grassy areas divided off to house various insects. But there are multiple levels here. You can descend up and downstairs. There's even a water tank area for displaying the water bugs. I like how you even get water drains on the floor for potential spillage. It's also interesting that there are several fish displayed in the insect wing. I think it requires you have donated the particular fish for them to show up here, but I'm not certain. And look, a waterfall. This back room has insects locked away in terrariums, which is good because some of these are pretty dangerous. There's also a really cool looking ant farm, but it looks like the ants may have escaped because they're crawling all around everywhere. Then I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this room. I guess it's like a workstation for the museum staff. What are they doing to these bugs? Also, the fly swatter in the back is a nice touch. If you're into butterflies, then this is the area for you. This place is a big butterfly sanctuary with a nice fountain in the middle. You can even sit on it. On the right side of the museum, you'll find the fish wing. The water all looks really great. I do wonder about this exhibit though. It's a cool cascading waterfall effect, but couldn't the fish jump into the other pools? What's keeping them from being swept down with the current? Seems like there should be some kind of grate or something. Or maybe they're just well-trained fish. Again, you'll notice a lot of great use of space here with ramps and stairs taking you up and down to exhibits at different levels. And here is a big empty tank. I wonder what'll go there. The next room is more fish. The lighting is dim, so maybe these are deeper water fish. Certainly down here with the little submarine display must be where the deepest of deep water fish go. Currently, I have an oarfish and a football fish. Back over here, there's a cool porthole viewing platform. Also makes for a great photo opportunity, but I think I still need to get some more fish for the full effect. The last fish room has some cool tubular designs in it.
This stuff is totally tubular, okay?
Tubular?
Tubular with extreme multiplicability.
Tubular.
There's also this empty circle area. Not sure what this is. Maybe a place for a future edition, creatures you get from diving perhaps? Or maybe it's just a lighting effect. I like this staircase over here that has the plexiglass designed around it so you can feel like you're walking through the aquarium. See what I mean about all the great thought put into the museum design? It's not just about displaying the creatures you've caught, but giving your character a really awesome viewing experience. And at the top you can see some feeding buckets over there, but I don't think you can get to them. Then we have fossils at the back of the museum. Fossils are much easier to collect since you just dig them up each day and seasonality doesn't matter. For fish and bugs, I won't even be able to complete the collections until winter, and that's if I don't miss one along the way. The fossil area has a really great evolutionary path to follow on the ground. It starts off with the really old stuff like trilobites and sharks, but the big stuff shows up in the next room. You can follow the evolution path to see where different lines of dinosaurs and things that aren't dinosaurs diverged. If you stand over here, you get a good view of everything. It even looks like my collection's complete. Wouldn't you think I'm the girl? The girl who has everything? One of my favorite parts is when you follow this evolution path outside the dinosaur room into this next room. You'll notice there are two lines coming in from the other room. The dinosaur line goes up to the bird villager silhouette. Everything else comes over here to these ancient mammals and then on out to their villager descendants. But the best part is right up here. Hey, there's a silhouette missing. Wait a minute, it's me. How cool is that? You can stand here to represent humans on the Tree of Life, right next to our monkey cousins. Now, when I first checked out the museum, I was bummed there was no place for artwork, but the layout with the upstairs leading to nothing gave me hope that would come in a future update, and that's exactly what happened. During the Nature Day update, we got the addition of Red, a shady character who sells artwork, mostly forgeries. If you buy up the genuine art, you can donate it to the museum. After your first art donation, Blathers will renovate the museum to make room for artwork. In New Leaf, the fake artwork were all practically masterpieces themselves. Most had very silly and obvious problems, which I think often elevated them above the originals. Like this guy's nose is a carrot. Art. Na bat wings. Finger guns. So I actually like collecting the fakes in New Leaf, but the fakes are much more subtle in New Horizons. You can still find guides online if you want to know for sure, but I think I'll stick with my own keen observational skills for the time being. No spoilers. In the museum, the artwork is displayed on pedestals and hanging on the walls. Since I don't have many pieces donated yet, there's not too much to show off. Overall, it doesn't look like the art wing is quite as extravagant as the fish or bug areas, but that's okay. You don't need a lot of crazy distractions. People just want to view the art after all, and it looks like there's a perfect place reserved for each piece. Right now, we're in the midst of the International Museum Day event in New Horizons. This means there are stamp stations throughout the museum, and if you collect all the stamps in one of the exhibit wings, you'll get a special prize. Museum stamps seem to be common these days, and I've encountered them a few times myself outside of the world of Animal Crossing. You can collect stamps every day, and the stations change, so it's a nice way to explore and get to know the museum. However, the rewards stay the same. What are those rewards? Bug, fossil, and fish plaques you can hang on your wall. I still have a lot of work ahead of me though. Still, I am hoping to eventually fill out the entire museum, and who knows, there may be some additions to come from future updates, so this is definitely a long-term goal. In the meantime, I can at least play around with decorating the museum grounds. If you want to see some more of my Animal Crossing adventures, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.